Hello students, welcome to AIMS India online classes. This is a chemistry session. Here we are discussing about periodic classification chapter. In the earlier sessions we have seen how this periodic table was constructed and how the properties of the elements are being changed in the groups and periods, and even what different namings given for the groups and periods in the modern periodic table we have seen. So based upon these concepts, now we are going to see the practice sheet related to the chapter, practice sheet 1, which includes completely single correct answer type questions. Okay, now we are going to see those. First, let us go through the conceptual understanding questions. First question you see here, the number of columns in modern periodic table is. How many columns are there in the modern periodic table? Yes, there are 18 vertical columns and 7 horizontal rows in the modern periodic table. These 18 vertical columns are classified as groups, and these 7 horizontal rows are considered as the periods of the modern periodic table. Okay, there are 18 columns totally. According to modern periodic law, the properties of the elements are periodic functions of their. Yes, what is a modern periodic law? When elements are written in increasing order of their atomic numbers, properties are being repeated for the elements at certain intervals. So it can be explained in the definitional way as the physical and chemical properties of the elements are periodic functions of their atomic numbers. Okay, atomic numbers. Next, an element which is an essential constraint of all organic compounds belongs to. So they're asking the group number of the element which is the essential constraint of all organic compounds. What is that element first of all? The essential constraint of all the organic compounds is carbon. So to which group this carbon belongs now? We know atomic number of carbon is 6. It is containing electronic configuration 2, 4. So as there are 4 electrons in its valence shell, it belongs to fourth group. That fourth A group is also known as 14th group, isn't it? Carbon group is 4 or 14. It belongs to 14th group. Next, elements in the same vertical group of the modern periodic table will have. What do they have in common? The elements present in the same vertical column. So those elements which are in the same vertical column are said to be the elements of same group. The elements in the same group will be having same number of valence electrons. Okay, they will be having same number of valence electrons. For example, if you see the first group elements, hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. If you observe the electron configurations of these elements, all they belong to same group, no? Now you see the electron configuration of hydrogen. It is having configuration 1s1. If we see for lithium, it is 1s2, 2s1 in the valence shell. And for the valence shell configuration of the sodium will be 3s1. In this way, all the elements present in a group or in a vertical column will be having same number of valence electrons. That also can be told as they will be having same valence electronic configuration. Okay, they will be having same number of electrons in their valence shell. Next, the scientist who did not contribute in the construction of periodic table. So we know so many scientists they have given their contributions in designing this modern periodic table. Of course, it was not the first and last periodic table. Before this modern periodic table, so many scientists they have tried to classify the elements in different manners. So those all will come under contributions in the classification of elements, even though they were failed because of some drawbacks. So here some scientist names are given whose contribution not related to this periodic classification? That's the question here. We know if you see first option Newland. Newland is given his contribution in the form of octaves, isn't it? We call them Newland's octaves. Even Mosley was a scientist who gave this modern periodic table. He constructed this modern periodic table. So his contribution is there. What about Dobriner? Dobriner also has given his contribution in the form of triads. He tried to classify the elements in the form of triads. What about Max Planck? Max Planck, he has given his contribution in the quantum theory of radiation, but not in the classification of elements. So the scientist who did not have his contribution was Max Planck. Right, next one. Lanthanoids and actinoids are together called. What are they called, these two together? We know these elements are written separately in the periodic table at the bottom. Two horizontal rows. First horizontal row are called lanthanoids and the elements of second horizontal row are called actinoids as we know. These two together called inner transition elements because these are written separately from transition elements. That's why they are called inner transition elements and also called F block elements. Lanthanoids and actinoids are together called F block elements. So here they have given inner transition elements. Now, in a period, atom with a smaller radius is, we know in a period from left to right, atomic size decreases, isn't it? And to say accurately, it decreases from alkali metals to halogens and it increases slightly to next noble gas. So the least size will be there for halogen in any period. So in a period, atom with the smallest radius will be halogen. Next, as number of protons in the nucleus increases, atomic radius gradually dash in a period. So if you see in a period from left to right, atomic number increases or the number of protons increases from element to element gradually, isn't it? Then what is happening to the size or atomic radius? Just now we told here in a period from left to right, atomic size decreases because even though the atomic number increasing, nuclear charge increases and outer shell electron cloud increases. Between these two, attraction increases and hence size of the elements decreases. So in a period from left to right, as number of protons in the nucleus increasing, size of the elements decreases in a period. Decreases. Next, let's go to next question. See the next one. The IP value of potassium is less than the IP value of sodium. This is due to why the ionization potential value of potassium is lower than that of sodium. We know sodium and potassium are there in the same group. How does it vary in a group from top to bottom? Ionization potential decreases because size increases gradually. Now, sodium is having smaller size, so it is having higher IP value, whereas potassium is having greater size, hence it is having lower ionization potential than that of sodium. So, what will be the correct answer? Correct reason for this now? Large size of potassium. Okay, large size of potassium. As size increases, IP value decreases. Next, the units of ion electron affinity. Electron affinity is the amount of energy released by an atom while gaining electron, isn't it? So as it is energy, its units will be kilocalories per mole. Where is it? The first option. Kilocalories per mole. Next, the most electronegative element in the periodic table are in the given options. We know in a period from left to right, electronegativity increases till halogens. So halogens are having the greatest electronegativity. And even among halogens, from top to bottom, electronegativity decreases as size decreases, and hence the first halogen element is having greater electronegativity. What is the first halogen element? That is fluorine. So fluorine is having greater electronegativity. Okay. Next, which of the following has zero electron affinity? What is electron affinity? First of all, the amount of energy released by an atom in the gaseous state while gaining an electron. So the elements which are ready to gain electron, they release more amount of energy, hence they will be having greater electron affinity. But the elements which are having stable electronic configuration, they do not accept any electrons and they do not have any electron affinity. So in that way, the elements with a stable configuration are noble gases. Noble gases in the periodic table are having almost zero electron affinities. So in the given options, which is the noble gas? It is neon. Neon is having almost zero electron affinity because it is having stable electronic configuration. It do not have any interest in gaining electrons. Right? Next one. Next, let us go to single character answer type questions. See the first one. According to Mendeleev's periodic table or periodic law, the elements were arranged in the periodic table in the order of their. In which order they are arranged in the Mendeleev's periodic table? Mendeleev has arranged all the elements in the increasing order of their atomic masses. That is the main drawback actually to say. So he arranged all the elements in the increasing order of their atomic masses. By choosing atomic mass, he failed at certain points. So later on in the modern periodic table, atomic number has chosen as a basic property. But in the Mendeleev's periodic table, elements are arranged in increasing order of their atomic masses. Okay. Next one. The shortest period in the modern periodic table. There are totally 7 periods in the modern periodic table. Out of these 7, the first period contains 2 elements. They are hydrogen and helium. So as there are only 2 elements, it is called shortest period. Next, second period and third period are having 8 elements in each. So they are called short periods. And fourth and fifth periods are having 18 elements in each. They are called long periods. Next, sixth and seventh periods are having totally 32 elements in each, hence they are called longest periods. Now the question here is shortest period is. What is the shortest period in the modern period table? That is first period. Next, which of the following given elements A, B, C, D and E with atomic numbers 2, 7, 10 and 30 respectively belong to the same period? Say which elements belong to same period. If you say 2, 2 means it is an noble gas helium. It is in the first period. If you we can let us write here the period number. So it is in the first period. What about 3? Lithium. Its atomic number is 3. If you write electron configuration 1s2 2s1. So it is in the second period as the last electron in this second shell. Okay, second period. What about this? 7 means it is nitrogen. If you say its configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. So the last shell's number itself is period number. For this element with atomic number 7, last shell is second shell. So its period number also 2 we can say. What about 10? 10th element is neon. If you write its configuration 2, 8 or 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. For this also, last shell is a second shell, so it belongs to second period. So 30 will be in the higher periods. Now, which 3 elements are there in the second period? These 3. These 3 belongs to same period. What are those 3 be now according to this? Second, third, fourth. That means B, C, D. These 3 elements belong to second period. Okay. Next, Where would you locate the elements in the electronic configuration 2, 8 in the modern periodic table? So in the modern periodic table, where can you locate this element with atomic number electron configuration 2, 8? See, in the valence shell, there are 8 electrons. The elements of 8th group or 8th A group, only they are having 8 electrons in their valence shell. Now, this element also will come under 8th group element or 18th column element. You can say simply group 18. That is noble gas. What is that element actually? It is a neon. Neon belongs to noble gas family, that is a group 18. Okay, next. In the long form of periodic table, most of the elements are, yes, there are 70% of the elements are, not 70, more than that, 72% around. They are metals. Mostly they are metals existing. There are non-metals and noble gases also, but mostly they are metals. Metals quantity is more. Which two elements will display the most similar chemical properties? So which elements will show similar chemical properties? Generally, the elements which belong to same group will show similar chemical properties. Now observe once the given options, which two elements belong to same group, those will show similar chemical properties generally. If you see aluminum and calcium, they do not belong to same group. Chlorine and sulfur, they also not belong to same group. Carbon and sulfur, they too do not. If we see lithium and potassium, lithium, sodium, potassium, these all are in the same group. So they will show similar chemical properties. Now, lithium and potassium will show similar chemical properties because they belong to same group. Okay, lithium and potassium. Next, which group contains elements in the solid, liquid and gaseous phases at 25 degrees Celsius and 1 atmosphere? That means at normal temperatures. At normal STB, at normal atmospheric conditions, which group contains the elements of three different states? What is that group? That is 17th group. That is 7th A group or halogens group. If you see the elements in the halogen group, they are fluorine, chlorine, bromine, next iodine and astatine. These are the 7th A group or 17th group elements, isn't it? Out of these, fluorine and chlorine are the gaseous elements. They exist in the gaseous state at normal temperatures. If we say bromine, it is the only one liquid non-metal. So it is in the liquid state. And next, iodine and astatine. These are the solid non-metallic elements. So in this way, the 17th group or 7th A group halogens group contains the elements of three different states. No other group has in this way three different states of elements. Okay. Next, when a neutral atom is converted into anion, converting into anion means gaining one electron. So when a neutral atom is converted into anion, that means it gained one electron. As number of electrons increases in an atom, its size increases. Okay, because there exists some repulsions between the already existing electrons and incoming electrons. To reduce these repulsions, the electrons will move a little away. Hence, size increases. Okay, size increases. Next, which among the following elements has the largest atomic radius? So which element will be having among these? Let us try to relate these elements. If you see these elements positions, so first if you write sodium, next to sodium there will be magnesium in the periodic table, isn't it? And potassium will be down to sodium because they belong to same group. And calcium will be down to magnesium. So these are the positions of these elements in the modern periodic table. These two are in the first A group, these two are in the second A group. Now, how does this atomic size varies in the periods and groups? Let us recall once. In a period from left to right, atomic size decreases. So, the second A group elements are having smaller size than these first A group elements. Now, these elements are having greater size. Now, in a group, if we compare from top to bottom in a group, atomic size increases as number of shells increasing from element to element. Now, among these two elements also, the down element, that is potassium, is having greater size. Okay, among these three elements now, potassium will be having greater size. The largest atomic size is for potassium, because in a group from top to bottom size increases, and in a period from left to right size decreases. So if you observe the positions of these elements, then we can relate them very easily. Need not to remember the atomic radius and atomic size of these elements with quantities. Just we can compare them by positioning them in the modern periodic table, because we know the trending of atomic properties. How do they, right? Now, the element with the highest or largest atomic radius is potassium. Next, the radius of isoelectronic species. Isoelectronic species means the species with the same number of electrons. They might be atoms or ions or molecules or whatever they are. If they have same number of electrons, then they are called isoelectronics or isoelectronic species. Now, how the size of these isoelectronic components are compared. Isoelectronics, among the isoelectronic species, as nuclear charge increases, size decreases. So, the radius of isoelectronic species decreases with increase in nuclear charge. This is correct. Okay, next one. As atomic number of the elements increases, the IP values of the elements of the same period. What happens to the IP ionization potential values in a period as we move from left to right? Left to right means as increase in the atomic number. So, in a period from left to right, atomic number increases. At the same time, size of the atoms decreases. If size decreases, what happens to that ionization potential? It increases. So in a period from left to right, atomic number increases and ionization potential decreases. Sorry, increases because size decreasing. Okay. Next, which of the following elements have relatively high electronegativities? So electronegativity is high for the atoms with a smaller size. In any period, from alkali metals to halogens, size gradually decreases. So halogens are having the smallest size in every period, and hence they will be having greater electronegativities. Okay, now halogens will be having greatest electronegativity. Even fluorine is the element with the highest electronegativity. Next, the element which has lightest electron affinity in third period. Say some third period elements are mentioned here. Which one is having greater electron affinity? We know in a period electron affinity increases from left to right, and because size decreases. So out of these all elements, chlorine belongs to extreme right side halogens, so that will be having the least size and greater electron affinity. Even in fact, this is the element with the highest electron affinity among all the elements in the periodic table, not only among these four. It is the element with the highest electron affinity among all the elements. Okay, this is about level 1 practice sheet. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our YouTube channel AIMS Today for latest updates on recorded videos.